flight boss, bitch, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Terry's Moon, Dolo the Archangel Uriel, and Dolo here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now we're going to talk about the Sun in Libra, Moon in Scorpio. Now, the Moon is in Scorpio. You see what I'm saying? Mercury is in Scorpio now. You see what I'm saying? So, and Jupiter is in Scorpio. So, you know what I'm saying? This is why we got to understand what's going on for the day. Now, for your Friday. Now, it's still in the vibrations of being relatable and, you know what I'm saying, being harmonious. This should still be your action. So, with the moon being Scorpio, even if you got to fake some of your actions a little bit, which Libras know how to do the best, you know what I'm saying? Right now it's qualified because sometimes you may have to fake say something. You may have to put out certain words, certain ways of sociabilities and make this part of your actions, like to test people's integrity, to test people's intentions, to test people's alternative motives. Because where you could fall short right now is trying to relate too much of your desires, trying to relate too much of your fixed passions, your fixed desires, things that you want to do, to the point that you start relating what you want to do so much, you start to forget to relate what someone else want to do. So that's how I can get into a bad end with the sun being in Libra and the moon being in Scorpio. And you could be relating a bunch of negative attributes, manipulative attributes, dark attributes. You could be relating, trying to talk and socialize about taboo subjects that may not be the right time and purpose to talk about it. Because when we talk about water and then Scorpio water, that's deep. That's deep. And that's like ice, frozen water. And then when we talk about air, like Libra, that's surface level. That's scattered. That's lightness. You know what I'm saying? That's not heavy. So a lot of these things, a lot of these energies and these vibrations that you may get attacked by today, your conscious awareness is not going to perceive it to be deep or perceive it to be dark or perceive it to be taboo or perceive it to be secretive. But the moment you start trying to rationalize it, logify it, you know what I'm saying, left brain it, you know what I'm saying, use all this social skill and try to relate it, is the moment that you're going to start putting yourself in a bad spot when it comes to the energetic forces with today sun being in Libra and today moon being in Scorpio. So today Gaia just wants you to, even if you have to be a light manipulator, like, and I'm not telling you to be manipulative, but just say certain things, and even if you have to fake it, like, you know what I'm saying, don't show too much disagreeable nature to someone else. Still be relatable, even if you have to agree to disagree, but you know what I'm saying, both of y'all can come to a middle compromising conclusion. You know what I'm saying? Because for the most part, with the moon being in Scorpio, the moon is hidden here. So emotions and feelings is going to be hidden. So no one is really genuinely, that you're going to be around today, no one is really genuinely expressing their true emotional stance on something. You see what I'm saying? No one is really doing that. Unless they're consciously aware and they know this the energy that's going on right now. But for the most part, 9 times out of 10, the people you are around are not expressing how they genuinely feel, because it's in a frozen state of water. But what they are going to do is create desires and passions around what they think they feel. And right there, that's what they're going to feel like they need to relate. I mean, what they're going to need to relate or socialize about. And when you dive deep into those mechanisms, you will start to get looked at as manipulative, or start to look at it, or people will start looking at you like you got alternative motives. So try to chill out on that. Right now, it's just for you to show your actions of harmoniousness and fairness. But for the most part, make sure you're keeping your own desires and your own passions and your own intent within you, and kind of keeping that sacred, and not coming up with no false egos or false lights or false illusions to make a person think what you want them to feel about you. Because that's how this temperament can go with Libra and Scorpio. You know what I'm saying? That's just for an average person who got a Libra sun and a Scorpio moon. These people want to be liked, they want to be fair, but people don't know how deep they actually feel about themselves. And a lot of times they deeply desire to transform something about themselves, and that'll be something that no one ever knows. So the only energy this person will be carrying is like insecurity or lack of confidence and stuff like that. So you have to be careful if you a person who has sun in Libra and moon in Scorpio. But right now, if you are sun in Libra, moon in Scorpio, you actually get more help than anybody else right now, because the actual sun today is in Libra and today's actual moon is in Scorpio. So you actually get more help than any. So you already in your energy mechanism. You just need to relax. Just all you need to do is relax. And you know, not to try to be too relatable of your deep inner thoughts to others, because people may look at you in ways that you don't want to be looked at, and to make you feel vulnerable. And that's what's going on with the moon being a Scorpio. Also, when it comes into Mercury being a Scorpio, the way you think, analyze, and communicate, try not to make that too out in the open. Basically, like for an example, you might have an idea or your way of thinking on certain things. You might have like a certain concept that may be too deep for others to try to understand. Right now it definitely won't be a right time to do it, because it doesn't matter how deep you go, it's going to be seen as unsavory, or it's going to be seen as like selfish in a way. Because with Mercury being a Scorpio, this is more of an inner thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is more of a thing like you want to keep your own thoughts and your own ideas to yourself. And it even come to a point when you see others who got your ideas or others who got your way of communicating, you will fix up a desire or a passion to try to push them out the way, so you could be fixated in that place of arraignment. So you know what I'm saying? That's what's actually going on today for Friday. It's going to be going on tomorrow also. So if you got plans on going out or things of that nature, kind of second guess that, second think, like have a second thought on that. Kind of pay attention to who you going out with, who you communicating with, who you accumulating ideas with. Kind of think about these things right now, because all these things can impact you. Because when we're dealing with vibrations of energies being a Scorpio, the vibration is very key right now. And Libra, the sun being a Libra is not very, it's not, don't really care about vibration that much. It really more care about the idea of things, and the communication of things, and is things fair or not. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of it's gonna blur the line anytime you blend that with Scorpio, with the moon and Mercury being a Scorpio. Because Mercury being a Scorpio, you already thinking and analyzing and communicating, and that's a Scorpio. But things that you're consciously aware of and how you act in your actions is predicated towards fairness and being relatable. And if you're not, you need to align yourself. I don't care if you are Aries and you opposite today's sun. I gotta learn this. I'm an Aries. Or I don't care if you square. Excuse me. I don't care if you square today's sun. If you got a sun in Cancer, or if you got a sun in Capricorn, you're gonna have to learn how to get with it, just like me, Aries. Or you may be relatable. You may be a sextile or a trine to today's sun, where the trine, you has a natural gift to tap into these elements if you choose to. A sextile, you're gonna find opportunities to tap into these elements. But if you conjuncting, you already got these powers. So you just need to understand how to work with the elements, work with the energies that's going on right now. But you have to know what energies is going on. And your mind is in a dark space right now. And I don't want to say dark as in evil or negative. I want to say just dark as in alone to yourself. So anytime you start to act on today's Libra sun, you need to be aware of the actual way you're doing that, because you could be doing it in a way that's only known or seen or observed by you. See, when you talk about Mercury, this is what you're thinking and communicating and analyzing. And when it's in Scorpio, it's in fixed water, being fixated on its own way of dealing with the emotions and feelings. So a lot of these emotional vibrations that you're catching today, these are things that you're thinking about. These are things that you're analyzing about. And these are things that you're going to slowly want to talk about. But see, talking about too much of these things may end up on a bad end of someone else that you're close to, or it may block you from a situation that you want to experience. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying be manipulative, but what I'm saying is kind of keep a lot of your thoughts that you think should be related to yourself right now. You know what I'm saying? Until you observe and fully get the full subconscious of the vibration of what you just received. And that's what Scorpios need to do. They need to transform. Scorpios in general. You need to transform the vibrations that you get. Don't take vibrations and play on them, because that's what y'all can do. Y'all can get a vibration, size up the currency wave of this vibration, and then if the currency wave is big, y'all want to follow that, and from a behind the scenes realm, when really you know what I'm saying, it's not about that right now. It's really not about that. You need to understand that. Now, for the most part, today's Venus is in Libra. So, you know, the Sun and Venus is still doing a back-to-back. You know what I'm saying? People are consciously aware of being fair and harmonious and relating things right now. And people love and appreciate and value their relatable skills right now. So everybody is appreciating and valuing their way of relating something to somebody, right? But with the moon and Mercury being in Scorpio, the way they may do it is in a selfish way. You see what I'm saying? In a desirable way, that their own desire. You know what I'm saying? To the point that it seems like you're diving deep into something that's not necessarily deep yet. You see what I'm saying? It hasn't got there yet, but but with the energies being in Scorpio, we can sense that it's getting there. But see, it's not our job to use the Scorpio energy for us to see these things and for us to bring it to the surface now, because that's what Libra is making us think. Libra is making us think, oh, we should be conscious. All right, this should be our actions. Then we should relate this type of shit. And then the things that we're relating end up being unrelatable. Just like the video I just put up. Fuck African history. Now, me just titling that shit, that name, is everything. People won't even listen to what I'm saying, won't even care to look at the description to say that I'm not talking about African people, right? So they don't understand the way how I come in my dialogue and the way how I title shit to strike certain thoughts for you to click. You know what I'm saying? People not understanding that, they just gonna understand that, okay, this is the words that this person is using. See, but I fall short by even trying to relate my deep concept of something in a relatable way. You see what I'm saying? So we all fall short every day. It's just how we fall short. And that's why I'm here to look at my own mistakes and still to come back and show everybody else where everyone else may make a mistake and stumble and fall. And a mistake is really not a mistake. You know what I'm saying? It's just an experience. It's a learning process. And this is what we all here to do. Remember, these ain't our experiences. This is just something that we are experiencing. So the better we know how to experience this shit, the better we know how to get with the shit. You see what I'm saying? And don't take claim to these experiences like they ours. To the point that we start developing emotions and feelings amongst these experiences. To the point that we feel like we actually being attacked. You know what I'm saying? And nah, I don't want to lead nobody down them roads. You see what I'm saying? Now, Mars is in 28 degrees Virgo. So Mars is in the cusp right now. Mars is on the cusp between Virgo and Libra. So this creates a dust element. Anytime air and earth comes together, it creates dust. So right now, it's going to be a lot of socializing about the scheduling that everybody was just doing. Like everybody's intent, willpower, passions, and motivations and desires, which is Mars. All that right now is being backed and forced by sociability now. Now people want to go and talk about these things now. Now people want to go and relate these things now. Now people want to put these things into action now. That's what's about to actually start happening. The more and more Mars slide into Libra and slide about the cusp. You see what I'm saying? And with Jupiter being in Scorpio, you know what I'm saying, off the bat with Mercury and the moon, so they all working together. So you have to look at it like this. The moon, who you are, your emotional stance, and your emotional reactions. Mercury, how you think, communicate, and analyze. Jupiter, how you experience this realm of reality you in, and how you extract wisdom and knowledge and put meanings and reasonings behind things. Right? You put those together and put them in a fixed water realm of reality. Now, all these three things is having a fixated way of dealing with the emotions and feelings. Having a fixated way of dealing with the emotions and feelings. So right now, you have to understand everybody you're dealing with right now, who they are, and the way that they carry themselves, and the way that they're going to react. Maybe a little moody. You see what I'm saying? The experiences that they're experiencing right now may be a little dark. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a little more wisdom and knowledge than the average experience. They have to extract out of it. And they have to put a little bit more meaning and reason into things than they had to do before. You know what I'm saying? And then the way people thinking and communicating and analyzing is very deep. So don't be coming with no surface level type shit, because you'll lose a war that way. You need to sit back, analyze, and strategize before you just peel out everything out your motherfucking mouth. And that's what Mercury, Jupiter, and the Moon is trying to show people with them being in Scorpio, but how they could get foggy by the Sun and Venus being in Libra, because people think everything is harmonious right now. People think it's good to be fair, it's good to be compromising, it's good to be relatable right now. But Scorpio is going to teach you everything is not. So if you consciously aware and you just jumping in, and you are Libra, just jumping into all these accesses, Scorpio will cause a situation in your life to show you that. Don't be telling everybody what you got. Don't be telling everybody what you about to do, and don't be telling everybody how much you came across certain energies than another person got. Because right now you may stumble and fall before understanding the circumstances of what you're falling into. You see what I'm saying? So that's the energies that's going on for just today, Friday, and a little bit of Saturday. And, I just felt the need to have to get that out right now. Flight boss, bitch, for sure. Goddamn, man.